What's up, guys? This is David slash D-H here today, and yes, it's been a week since the last time I've uploaded a video. The reason why is because that my lazy level has been pretty much getting in the way, so I wasn't in the video making mood. And also, I'm finishing my last 2 weeks of high school, and so I'm gonna graduate a week from this Friday. And then after that, we're gonna have a graduation party at my mom's friend Jane's house, and some of my trackmaster trains are gonna become part of the party. Let me show you. And some of them are on that cardboard box right there, and the box underneath it carries some of my rolling stock. There's my take-along travel tote. Back there is my Thomas tunnel. Can you see? They're both going to be part of the party. Oh, and there's a little bit of track there. Tomy, Trackmaster, and HO Scale, and Knapford Station, yeah. For now, I want to show you some homemade engines that I've made back in 2011 while I wasn't making videos due to broken computer. And these engines have been made way before or 2011, but I can't really remember when. But right now, let's start with these engines right here. This is Gold Thomas, Patchwork Hero, Star Spangled Banner'thomas, and the Tank Engine Chad and Friends Steam Team. That's Chad, Cathy, Eric, Jackaroo, and Johnny. Now the Gold Thomas, of course, is made from a CGI Thomas, painted gold all over, from Buffer to Bunker. And here's Patchwork Hero. It's a little dark shade of purple here, and a really dark boiler. I guess the blue is too dark. The funnel here, yes, I changed his funnel a little. At first it was too tall to go into tunnels, so I had to make it a little shorter to make it the perfect size. And of course, I guess the tender is a little too new, but it's pretty close to being a Patchwork Hero, if you know what I mean. And my Star Spangled Banner'thomas, I made him as a great honor of one of Trainboy 54's episodes of Tomy Trackmaster TNF. Only this time, it's not from a CGI Thomas like that one. It's made from this sort of Thomas here. Also has stars in the back. Those stars were actually drawn on an MS Paint program, and then I just printed them out and just used some tape to put them on. Of course. Now let's see how the how Mr. Melmert's Steam Team was made, shall we? Starting, of course, with the number 1, Chad. So yeah, he's a model of an old Thomas body with CGI Thomas footplate with an Edward wheel glued right there under the axle. You can see the glue right there. And of course, I had to remove a little bit of plastic here to get the wheels to fit it. And you can see that little hole is being blocked by a piece of black duct tape, and I used some red paint to camouflage the tape. See? See the little patch? The tanks aren't exactly the same as Chad's from the actual show. They're supposed to be shaped like Stephanie's, but I preferred to use Thomas's body for this since Chad and Thomas have so much in common. But this model does follow follow the full details of how Chad really looks in the actual show. His funnel is square like Peter Sam's. You can see there's Peter Sam's funnel. I just cut off Thomas's funnel and replace it with a Peter Sam funnel. And the dome is right? Although the purple is kind of dark. And of course there's his green coat. And look, you can see the blue line going up to the roof, like in the actual Chad from the show. And of course, Chad has two wheel arches, so that's the first wheel arch, that's the second wheel arch. And they came from, I have multiple ertl James, and these wheel arches, that one and that one, they both came from one of my ertl Jameses, in which I broke off by using a pair of pliers. See? And believe me, both wheel arches were very hard to try and glue onto the footplate. This one, I just got lucky. But the other, I had to use some silly putty to keep it still. You can see the paintness of the putty. You see? So yeah, the tanks aren't just not really right, but this model is pretty close to looking like Chad. Now here's Cathy. Okay, she may not have a piston like that, but he really is pretty close to looking like Cathy. I mean, the pink smokestack and the red paint and number 2. Yeah, just like Cathy. Even though the cold tender isn't quite correct, but you get the idea. Now you can see Jackaroo was made from Percy, painted orange, and of course number 4 painted there. And well, rather than that shade of brown of the dome, Jackaroo's dome is a completely different shade of brown, but never mind. And this Percy is actually, see the dust on his face? It's made from the Percy and the Search Cars set. It was the only Percy I had available, so I had no choice but to do it. Oh well, never mind. Now the way Eric and Johnny were made, it was simple. I just had to take both engines apart and then swap their motors and put them back together. So of course, I took out the original Henry motor and put it into the James, and I took out the James motor and put it into the original Henry model. Now Eric is supposed to be brown, but I didn't have any brown paint, so I had to use some gold paint. Okay, it may not be the correct shade of brown, but it's the closest brown I ever had. But of course, after yeah, it was a sloppy mess trying to get the brown right. But anyway, I once I put the little blue stripes on him, like the real Eric does in the show, he pretty much starting looking like Eric, of course. And of course, Johnny is black and white like in the show. Black of the front and white of the tender. These are the original James tender wheels, which came from the James tender, and I just took them out and put them into the Henry tender, and the Henry wheels, I just painted them gold. See? So far, I think Jackaroo and Johnny are the closest to looking like themselves from the show. Don't you think? Mm-hmm. Now these two, I got the Percy from the drawbridge, green drawbridge, and this is the Thomas that came with Risky Rail's bridge drop. And I want to make them both into homemade trains, and well, so far I gave both of them that little classic splash of white. But I just can't decide what to make them into. I'm trying to decide if I should either make them both into Mario and Luigi, the Mario Brothers as Thomas characters, or if I should make Percy into a Silver Percy, or Thomas into a Jet Plane Thomas from Sticky Toffee Thomas by using this toy airplane here. I can't remember when my dad... Well, yeah, my dad got me this, but I can't remember when he got me it, or where. I guess he got it at an airport, but anyway, pushing this little button here makes him do sounds for a really long time, and the lights are supposed to flash, but the lights don't seem to work anymore, and it's just getting really old, so I guess that's the reason why thinking of taking, like, cutting off the wings and stuff and gluing them onto Thomas. Now, I know what you're thinking. Thomas won't be able to go through tunnels. Well, look at the bright side. At least I'll be able to use him for a Sticky Toffee Thomas remake. So I guess it's your choice now. Should I either make the two of them into the Mario Brothers, or make Silver Percy and Jet Plane Thomas? Just make your choice and put it in the comments section. Now let's move on to these engines, way before 2011. I made 4 ertl engines and 1 homemade take-along engine. There's Michael, the double tender engine, Busy Bee James, me as a Thomas character, Stanley, and Tickle Pink James. So here's ertl Michael, ertl Gordon with a James tender. Like I said, I have multiple ertl James, and because I do, I took another one of them and make them all stripey like a bee. Me as a Thomas character, the wheels aren't right. They're all wrong. I used to have a piece of cardboard right here to represent the third wheel, but it just didn't look right, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Well, at least you just can't say I didn't try. Stanley here, it really looks a little like Stanley, except for the tanks that aren't right. But at least you got the idea. And the dome is a little short. And I'm pretty sure Stanley's dome is this short. And of course there's Take Along Tickle Pink James. Just James painted all pink. And thank you all for your time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to share this with your friends. Thank you all for watching. And thank you all for being so supportive for my YouTube career. Thanks again. Bye.